Coming up on News Live at 6, Syracuse authorities investigate recent vehicle disturbances. Their advice to students ahead. Plus, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is back on campus. Their offer to students next.
And SU basketball center Eddie Lampkin has his own receipts off the court. His efforts at local food drift drive when News Live at 6 starts right now.
TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Reports of theft in the university area. DPS is looking for a solution. Hello and welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Cora Mayer-Costa.
And I'm Isabella Galan. Police and SU's Department of Public Safety are investigating recent reports of vehicle disturbances in Syracuse. Our Lucy Schaefer has the latest.
Yeah, Cora and Bella, in recent weeks, there have been multiple reports of vehicles being broken into and personal items such as laptops, phones, and more being stolen. Authorities are urging the public to report any suspicious activity and to follow some guidelines to keep vehicles and personal belongings safe. The Department of Public Safety and Syracuse Police Department are actively investigating after there have been multiple reports of vehicle disturbances and criminal mischief.
Really isn't any combating situation because you have to leave your car either outside or unattended. You know, not everyone has the luxury of having a garage or somewhere that they can store their car. So, you know, if it's on like the side of the road, someone could just break in within like 4 seconds, they'll be gone with your stuff.
DPS recently sent out an informational notice email to all SU students, urging them what precautions to take and to report any suspicious activities. Most of these reports have occurred primarily from the east neighborhoods of SU's campus near Comstock Avenue.
All my personal valuables out of my car every night, whether that's my wallet, AirPods, you know, chargers, or anything that could really be like a good accessory I got.
DPS released a statement saying the Department of Public Safety always encourages our campus community to be proactive when it comes to keeping themselves and their belongings safe. Some examples are parking your car in an area you are familiar with that has good lighting, close and lock all windows and doors, and to not leave anything of value in plain sight. We advise you to put them in a glove box or trunk and bring items such as laptops or phones inside with you. DPS is staffed 24/7, 365 days a year, and we highly recommend reporting any suspicious activity or emergencies as soon as you can. So remember to take that extra moment to keep you from dealing with theft. Reporting for CitrusTV News, Lucy Schaefer.
Thank you, Lucy. New details. Syracuse University announced earlier today they will host Micron Day later this month. This public event is open to SU students and Central New Yorkers to showcase the university's collaboration with Micron. The event will specifically include a discussion panel of SU alumni, Micron officials, and information about career paths for students.
Students who are interested in changing majors had the chance to attend the Academic Major-Minor Fair today in Byrd Library. Students were able to learn about the process of transferring into other schools, as well as how to switch and add a major or a minor. Representatives from all schools and colleges at SU were present to share information about their programs, as well as the transfer process and deadlines. Well, the iconic Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is back on campus today for an info session, and our Roman Verna is live right there with it. Roman, what do they have to offer?
Yeah, thank you, Cora and Isabella. Or should I say, thank you, because right behind me is the world-famous Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Now, this 27-foot-long hot dog and bun on wheels rolled up to campus last week, but had to leave due to some unforeseen circumstances. They're back on campus now, though, and I relish the opportunity to speak with Akira Potts, who's one of the hot doggers.
Right now we're recruiting from a bunch of different college campuses all over the country. So we are looking for graduating seniors, trying to get them interested and teach them more about the role and everything that we do. It is like an entry-level marketing job. We are basically our own PR firm on wheels. We're on a coast-to-coast weenie roast, traveling to a new city pretty much every week. The job is pretty explosive. We like to tell people that less people have driven the Wienermobile than have ever been to space. So every year we get thousands of applicants and we only hire 12 people.
Now the hot doggers are having their info session inside of Shine Student Center right now, and unfortunately applications are now closed for Syracuse students. But Cora says that they plan to come back to campus next year to look for more students and possibly recruit some. So definitely keep an eye out for that and follow them on their socials to see what they're up to next. Cora and Isabella, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Roman. Looks like a dog of a time. Well, Eddie Lampkin has been a welcomed addition to the Orange. Our Benjamin Lefkowitz details his impact off of the court.
Thanks, Cora. Syracuse center Eddie Lampkin isn't just a dynamic player on the court, he is also in the kitchen. Last year, Chef Antoine Smith cooked his signature meals for the Colorado football team. After posting his food on Instagram, then Colorado center Eddie Lampkin reached out to Smith for a meeting. The two first came up with the idea of a food truck, but after Lampkin transferred to Syracuse, the idea transformed into Big Fellas.
It's amazing. It's nothing we could have dreamed of. Like, it works so well. People love us here. People are coming in, enjoying the food, getting to take in the atmosphere we have here and everything. So we love it. We set up our menu to where you have different proteins, so you can kind of choose different things each day and not really be eating the same thing.
The restaurant is really two places in one. Pound Town Burger shares a space with Big Fellas.
What is it? Is it Tex-Mex? Is it Asian cuisine? Is it just pasta Italian? It's Eddie Lampkin and Antoine Smith. I can't say it any better than that. These guys put what they like onto a menu. They created the recipes themselves. They created all of the sides, the drink.
The Duke game may have not been the most appetizing, but you can make your way to 208 West Water Street on Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Thank you so much, Benjamin, for your coverage. That food looked delicious. I'm getting a little bit hungry right now, but I just want to make sure that I know what I'm going in for when we're leaving the studio today, weather-wise, what we can expect.
Me too. It's been this and that. The weather's been so bipolar. So, Spencer Congel, what can we expect right now?
Well, right now, it's actually not too bad. 36 degrees outside and not too windy, feels more like 32. So definitely not quite as cold and windy as snowy as it's been the past few days here on campus. Right now, mostly cloudy, so no snow yet. Though as we move later into tonight, we are expecting some snow pretty early tomorrow morning, a 40% chance around 3 a.m. And though the temperatures aren't going down that much, the wind chill is going to be going a lot down quite a bit. There is a wind advisory in effect tomorrow from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you are going outside anytime between 1 a.m. tomorrow and 1 p.m. tomorrow, get the gloves and the jacket on. That's all I've got in weather for now, Isabella.
Thanks, Spencer. Definitely will be bundling up tomorrow. And Chick-fil-A in Cicero is celebrating 7 years of business. With the anniversary of it opening up, the man behind it all keeps finding ways to make people smile one sandwich at a time. Our Sophia DeStasso tells us his story.
The Chick-fil-A in Cicero is like any other, a place for family and for food. But there is one person behind it all, making it the Chick-fil-A everyone knows and loves.
He motivates me by pushing us every day and seeing things that we don't see about ourselves.
While waiting for French fries or in the middle of rush hour, he is the mastermind behind the operations. Jimmer Zakowski is the restaurant operator. He has been here for 7 years pursuing his passion.
The end of my career at IBM, I was very unhappy. I was looking for something that would allow me to make an impact on people and the community. So I found Chick-fil-A.
Jimmer was diagnosed with ALS. His wife Betty reads his lips to communicate for him, but this has never stopped him from living a full life.
I have had to adjust my whole life, but it has not stopped me from living. I live a very full life.
Jimmer always comes to work with a smile on his face and a goal to make sure Chick-fil-A has a great environment. His priority is to make sure that the customers leave happier than when they first came in.
My connection with my people and my guests. Those relationships are priceless.
So the next time you hear my pleasure, know that it is truly Jimmer's pleasure. Reporting in Cicero, Sophia DiStasso for Citrus TV News.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for your coverage. More updates on a story we brought to you yesterday. 3 of the largest police departments in Onondaga County do not have the recall feature on their body cameras turned on. This follows the release of a video of New York State corrections officers beating an inmate last month using a fail-safe recording feature. Leaders in Onondaga County Sheriff's Office say the recall feature is useful, but raises privacy concerns. According to a survey by the Post-Standard, most other police departments in the county use the feature for extra security.
Staying in New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul announced today 3 new locations for a $200 million manufacturing partnerships program. The money will go to the Capital Region, the Finger Lakes, and Mohawk Valley to establish a network of workforce development centers. These centers will offer training, internships, and jobs. The regions will receive up to $300,000 in planning grants and extra upon completion.
This morning, the Medicaid portal and all U.S. Department of Health and Human Services websites were offline. In a letter to the Department of Health and Human Services, Senator Chuck Schumer said the shutdowns require a full investigation to figure out the chaos. This is the second time in 2 weeks that this has happened. The portal was restored later today, but concerns remain as the site provides vital healthcare services.
23-year-old Latami Bell has been identified as the victim of a stabbing that took place last night. When police arrived to the scene, Bell was found with a stab wound in his chest. He was then taken to the Upstate University Hospital but died as a result of his injuries. Police are still investigating the cause of the incident. And coming up on News Live at 6, a federal resignation deadline pushed back. Who's affected and what to expect next from the Trump administration.
Plus, new details on Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, what staffers are doing, and the department's latest proceedings when your campus news leader returns.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
Watching Citrus TV News, live at 6 with Cora Mayer-Costa, Isabella Galan, and Spencer Congel. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. A judge has paused the deadline for federal workers to accept the Trump administration's deferred resignation offer. The offer is part of the administration's effort to shrink the size of the federal workforce.
So far, at least 50,000 of the nearly 2 million federal workers who have received this incentive have accepted to take the offer. Those who do not opt into the offer are at risk of losing their jobs as the Trump administration plans on starting widespread layoffs.
And the latest, the U.S. Agency for International Development is under fire after emails between Elon Musk's top staffers at the Department of Government Efficiency. Musk's associates tried to get the Treasury payment system to shut down its spending. These emails have sparked emergency court proceedings over DOGE's access to the system.
USAID was one of the first agencies affected after Trump enacted a 90-day freeze on foreign assistance. Dozens of senior officials have been put on leave, and employees were told to work remotely this past Monday. The USAID's website and X account have also been taken down.
More on DOGE's proceedings. The Trump administration has agreed to temporarily restrict DOGE staffers from being able to access information within the Treasury Department's payment system.
The agreement comes after a group of union and retired members sued the Treasury Department, saying providing DOGE access to the system and the personal data within it violates privacy laws. Musk does not have access to the payment system under the order.
And coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have a look at your full 5-day forecast and to check in about how far away spring is. Stay with us.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome to my house. Lately, not my happy place. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The parents were not themselves. My little brothers were morphing into small creatures. The walls were closing in. Clearly, a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. And there's a lot of that going around right now. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It might not get you out of the house, but it could help you find a little more breathing room.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. As we take a look at the temperatures over the weekend here, things are looking pretty consistent around the high 20s and getting down into the mid-teens in the temperatures. We are expected to see some sun throughout the next few days, but we are also expecting to see definitely some snow, maybe a little bit of rain, depending on whether or not the temperature gets up there in the middle of the day at all. So as per usual in Syracuse during the winter, keep your jacket, keep your gloves handy because you're going to need it. Now, let's take a look at our spring check-in. I like to do this every spring because to me it feels like once we hit that daylight savings time, spring really starts. And once those days gets longer, things just kind of start looking up. So we're just around a month away from daylight savings time setting when the sunset happens at 7 p.m. instead of where we're at now around 5:30. And we are gaining about 3 minutes of daylight each day that goes by. So as you can see, the days are progressively getting longer. We're in about the 10-minute mark here, and the sunset is getting later. So I'm certainly looking forward to this spring. I'm certainly looking forward to these warmer temperatures. And who knows, maybe these warmer temperatures that are coming hopefully soon, but probably not for a while, will bring more people to the Syracuse basketball games. Bella and Cora, do you know anything about that?
That's right, Spencer. Syracuse men's basketball faced off against the rival Duke yesterday in the Dome.
Yeah, and while the student sector has had lower attendance this year than previous season, last night's game made for a record-breaking turnout. Our Colleen Nukuda takes us to the Loud House.
The energy around campus was buzzing yesterday as men's basketball rivaled the Duke Blue Devils. But for fans, it wasn't just about the game. It was about making sure they got the best seats in the house. With the game at home, students battled for spots by arming themselves with blankets and tents at the campout. That way they can be among the first to enter the JMC Wireless Dome.
So yeah, the campout went really well last night. We had a lot of people show up, which was a lot of fun, and a lot of people super excited for the Duke game as well, which is later tonight. So, you know, we're excited to get in there early and just be as loud as possible and hopefully make a difference in the game.
Student attendance at the games has been low, but Otto's Army student leader Rajan Joshi was confident that the excitement would remain.
So, you know, I'm super excited still about the game. I think a lot of people are. It's a big game regardless. Duke is really good. Our team just won a game last week, so hopefully we can continue that momentum and, you know, we'll see what happens. But I think definitely there's a lot of excitement on campus still about this game.
And he was right. Following up on last week's prediction, student attendance skyrocketed, and more affordable ticket prices made it easier for fans of all ages to attend and cheer on the Orange. On Ticketmaster, seats were selling for as low as $11.70. While Cuse fell 54-83 to Duke, the fans showed up for their team with electrifying spirit and positivity, and the roar of the crowd grew even louder with a surprise visit from the Syracuse football team. Hopefully, we'll have better luck next year.
Well, coming up in sports, we've got the highlights from that game, Syracuse against number 2 Duke. Stick around to find out how it went down.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse hosts Duke. It's always a spectacle in the Dome. Welcome into sports. I'm Adam Gotkin. Usually the fans are looking forward to a great game, often hoping for an upset. Last night, though, all the attention was on the main event, the projected #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, Duke freshman Cooper Flagg. Flagg led his team into the Dome for this game. Duke, #2 in the country on a 15-game winning streak. That's best in the NCAA. The Orange had it going early, though. J.J. Starling tied this game at the first media timeout, and then it all started to fall apart. Syracuse goes into a 2-3 zone. There's a 3 on the first possession. Next possession after that, Tyrese Proctor, he makes a triple. He led the game with 16 points and then also showed that he can dish it as well. Third straight possession ends in a 3-pointer for Duke, a 9-2 run. Blue Devils were just running away with this. Naheem McLeod, he tried his best, season-high 10 points for the big man, but it wasn't enough. Blue Devils up 16 at the half, and then they just started to have fun. Malik Brown in his return to the Dome with a big-time slam. How about this from Cooper Flagg, showing off the athleticism, and then probably the play of the game, a big-time block And then on the other end, Isaiah Evans, how about that slam? That made it a 31-point game. Duke wins it 83-54. It is the 5th time this season that the Orange have lost a game by 15 or more points. Syracuse basketball is just not what it used to be. In Red's 2nd season, the Orange are on track for their worst record since the 60s. Syracuse can barely get into the top 50 in the net rankings. So what's changed?
We got to keep building this thing. And obviously, when you talk about when we got into this league, college was different. Everybody needs to understand that college is different.
College is different, but the issue is that he was never a head coach in the old landscape of college hoops. In Red's 2nd season, the Orange might miss the ACC tournament. There were 10,000 fewer people in the Dome last night than on average against Duke, and unfortunately, the issues for the Orange seem to be spreading off the court as well. Just a few hours ago, SU's 5-star freshman Donnie Freeman, who hasn't played in over a month with the right foot injury that's been characterized as day-to-day, liked a tweet criticizing his head coach in response to a quote from last night's press conference. So bad stuff over there for Syracuse men's basketball, but for number 2 Syracuse men's lacrosse, it's a much more positive time. The Orange are coming off a 19-goal win against Jacksonville to open the season. SU's star-studded junior class accounted for more than half of the team's goals, an improvement that's no surprise to head coach Gary Gait.
What's going on, you're trying to figure it out. Sophomore year, you have kind of an idea, but by junior year, you feel like you're a leader and you're confident and you're helping the young guys and you know what to expect.
Syracuse is back in action tomorrow in the Dome at 6 p.m. against Vermont. The Orange beat the Catamounts 20-7 in last year's opener. Be sure to follow at Dan_Shalom on Twitter for updates. That's all for sports. Cora, Isabella, back to you.
Thanks, Adam. When we come back, we'll have your wake-up weather. Stay with us.
Welcome to Live from Studio B.
Welcome to another episode of Culturally and Technically Legal.
Previously on Survivor.
Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's esports news into digestible sizes for easy consumption.
Tomorrow when you wake up, things are going to be pretty chilly with a wind chill in the single digits and a chance of snow. Certainly not the kind of temperatures that you want to see when you're eating frozen yogurt.
Oh, that's for sure. And so that's perfect because today is National Frozen Yogurt Day. And frozen yogurt has definitely grown in popularity in recent decades, and it is a healthier competitor to ice cream. So to celebrate, we have a new spot that just opened up on Marshall Street that we're going to give it a try today.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know Juice and Java, we're testing it out this Saturday for our show, so definitely check that out. But let's try it. You know, it's a new place on Marshall. It's always rotating.
That's good. My favorite flavor is always cake batter, and this is some of the best cake batter I think I've had in a while.
Froyo is good in any weather. I mean, National Frozen Yogurt Day in the winter. Why
True.
not?
Hey, I'll take it. I got a nice chocolate here with some chocolate sprinkles. Our associate producer did a wonderful job putting these together. They look beautiful.
They are. They're gorgeous.
And they're very delicious.
No, it was really great. And, you know, you just don't really get Froyo that often, too. It's like a little treat, you know, a sweet treat.
I always love a sweet treat. I think after every meal, I go
you
for
have
a
to
sweet
have
treat.
one.
You
Come
have
on, let's
to.
be real.
You have to.
Ugh, it's just so great. And I'm so glad to share Froyo Day with you guys.
True.
Well, that's all Citrus TV News Live at 6 has for this Thursday night.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Cora Mayer-Costa. Have a great night, Syracuse, and an even better tomorrow. Happy Froyo Day.